Family is supposed to be a place of safety, love, and belonging. It should be the space where you feel valued for who you are, not what you can give. Yet for many, that vision is shattered when a narcissist becomes part of the family circle. Instead of warmth and support, there is control, manipulation, and a constant erosion of Essie's self-worth. At Emotional Soulmate, the focus is on shedding light on these hidden struggles and giving a voice to experiences that are often silenced. This space was created to help you recognize toxic dynamics, understand their impact, and most importantly, find the tools to heal and reclaim your peace. Stay with this video until the very end. Each section builds toward not only recognizing the weight you may be carrying, but also discovering real steps to release it. The goal is for you to walk away, not only with awareness, but with a renewed sense of strength and direction. The hidden weight of living with a narcissist. A narcissist in the family rarely appears as the monster from the beginning. At first glance, they may seem charming, persuasive, or even admirable to outsiders. But behind closed doors, the reality is different. Living in such an environment means carrying a constant weight. Every interaction feels like it revolves around their needs, their moods, and their approval. Daily life becomes a balancing act, where silence might seem safer than honesty, and compliance feels easier than resistance. This hidden weight does not simply vanish after an argument ends or after a conflict quiets down. It lingers in the body, shaping how you speak, how you think, and how you feel about yourself. Over time, it creates patterns of fear, self-doubt, and exhaustion that become almost second nature. The family dynamic turned upside down. A healthy family thrives on shared responsibility, mutual respect, and emotional balance. A narcissistic family member disrupts this balance entirely. Instead of support, there is control. Instead of shared joy, there is competition for attention. Instead of accountability, there is blame. This reversal creates an environment where everyone else is forced into roles that orbit around the narcissist. Some family members may become the favored ones, the golden children, who receive praise, attention, and protection. Others may be cast into the role of scapegoat, unfairly burdened with blame or criticism. These roles are not about fairness or merit, but about how well each person serves the narcissist's emotional needs. The family system begins to bend toward the narcissist, like a tree leaning toward a heavy wind. Conversations, decisions, and even holidays can revolve around their desires or their moods. The household loses its natural center, and members often learn to suppress their authentic selves to survive the storm. The emotional toll on you. When a narcissist is in your family, the impact does not stop at surface-level frustrations. It penetrates deeply into emotional well-being. One of the most damaging effects is the erosion of self-trust. Narcissists often engage in manipulation tactics that make you question your own memory, judgment, or feelings. This psychological twisting, known as gaslighting, creates a sense of confusion that makes you doubt your reality. The constant criticism and comparison chip away at self-esteem. You may start to believe that you are never good enough, no matter what you achieve. Even victories lose their meaning because they are either dismissed or overshadowed by the narcissist's need for recognition. The emotional toll also shows up in the form of guilt and responsibility. You may feel pressured to maintain peace, to please them at all costs, or to sacrifice your own needs for the sake of the family. Over time, This can leave you emotionally depleted, carrying a burden that was never yours to carry. Cycles that repeat across generations. The harm caused by a narcissistic family member does not stay contained within one generation. These patterns often echo across time, shaping how future relationships form. Children raised in such environments may grow up believing that love is conditional, that their worth depends on performance, or that conflict is something to be feared at all costs. Without awareness, they may recreate similar dynamics in their adult lives, either by falling into relationships with narcissists or by adopting those behaviors themselves. This is why recognizing the cycle is so critical. Awareness is the first step toward breaking it. Once you see the pattern for what it is, not just a difficult personality, but a toxic system, you can begin to step away from repeating it. Recognizing the truth behind the mask. The most powerful shift begins with seeing clearly. A narcissist thrives on creating illusions. They want the world to believe they are the center of brilliance, the victim of unfair treatment, or the one who always knows best. For those inside the family, this illusion can be especially difficult to resist. The mix of charm and cruelty, of love and neglect, creates a fog that clouds judgment. Recognizing the truth means stepping outside of that fog. It means understanding that their behavior is not normal, not healthy, and not your responsibility to fix. This recognition does not change the narcissist, but it changes your relationship to them. It restores your sense of reality, and with that, the possibility of reclaiming your power. Setting boundaries that protect your peace. Boundaries are not about punishment or revenge. They are about protecting your emotional space and defining what is acceptable in your life. With a narcissistic family member, boundaries can feel nearly impossible to establish because they often react with anger, guilt-tripping, or manipulation. But without them, the cycle continues unchecked. Boundaries might mean refusing to engage in arguments, limiting the time spent with them, or saying no to unreasonable demands. It might also mean stepping away entirely if the relationship causes consistent harm. Every boundary is an act of self-preservation, a signal that your well-being matters. Even small steps toward enforcing them can begin to shift the balance in your favor. Seeking support outside the family. Isolation is one of the most powerful weapons a narcissist uses. By undermining your confidence and distorting reality, they make it harder for you to reach out for help. Breaking that isolation is essential. Support can come in many forms. Therapy, trusted friendships, or support groups where others understand the experience of narcissistic abuse. Speaking your truth in safe spaces can rebuild the parts of you that were silenced. Professional guidance, especially from therapists who specialize in trauma or family dynamics, can provide tools for healing. It allows you to process the past without judgment and to build healthier ways of relating in the future. Choosing yourself without guilt. The most difficult step for many is choosing themselves without feeling guilty. For years, you may have been conditioned to believe that your worth depends on how much you sacrifice or how much you endure. Breaking free means rewriting that belief. Choosing yourself might mean prioritizing rest, joy, and growth over constant conflict. It might mean limiting or even cutting ties with the family member who causes harm. This decision does not erase your love for them, but it acknowledges the necessity of protecting your own life. There is strength in recognizing that survival is not enough. You deserve more than surviving. You deserve to live fully, without being trapped in someone else's shadow. Breaking the silence for the next generation. One of the most powerful acts of resistance is refusing to let the cycle continue. By breaking the silence, by telling the truth, and by modeling healthier patterns, you protect not only yourself, but also the next generation. Children in particular learn not just from words, but from examples. When they see someone set boundaries, seek help, and live authentically, they absorb those lessons. They begin to understand that love is not supposed to hurt, that respect is a non-negotiable, and that they, too, have the right to their own lives. Your healing becomes a legacy. It transforms pain into guidance, showing others that it is possible to step out of the shadow of narcissism and into a brighter, freer future. Closing thoughts. From survival to freedom. Having a narcissist in your family is one of the most painful and complex challenges to face. It distorts the very meaning of family, replacing connection with control and love with conditions. But while their behavior may have shaped parts of your past, it does not have to define your future. You are not powerless in this story. By recognizing the truth, setting boundaries, seeking support, and choosing yourself, you begin to reclaim what was taken from you. Healing may not be immediate, but it is possible, and with each step, you move closer to freedom. The journey is not about changing the narcissist. It is about transforming your own life, turning survival into strength, silence into voice, and pain into resilience. And in doing so, you discover the kind of family that truly matters. One built not on control, but on love, respect, and authenticity. And as always, because YouTube's algorithm tends to favor videos with strong engagement, if you feel this video has brought you value, a simple like and a quick subscribe would mean so much. It not only helps this message reach more people who need it, but also ensures you will never miss the next video that could make a difference in your journey. Thanks all.